Psalm 65, verse 22. And continue to keep Sister Viola lifted up in prayer. She had great plans of coming for 3 weeks and 2 things here at the same time while she was here. But we continue to keep her lifted up in prayer. How good the Lord is. Psalms 55:22 say, cast thy burdens upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. What to do with life's burdens? What to do with life's burdens? Cast thy burdens upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. That's the question today. Many of us find ourselves at wit's end, and we wonder, what should we do? We look back over our lives and we discover that day after day, week after week, toiling with life's burden has put us in a strain. We look back and we wonder what happened to that joyous, carefree, loving person that we used to be. Every now and then I look back in my own life and I wonder what happened. Life's experience have that when you try to handle our own problems alone, when you try to bear your own burdens alone, you will lose ground every time. And if you are not careful, you will lose sight of your own self. Life's burdens seem to have a way of getting you down. And if you are not careful, it will bring you down all the way level to the ground. Story was told about a woman who went to her pastor's study and told him everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. And pastor said, everything? She said, yes, everything. The pastor said, not everything, because you're still here. Somebody missed that, somebody missed that. And if you claim that, the troubles of life will get you down. There are times when it seems that we fall victim to Murphy's Law, and that is anything that can go wrong will go wrong. So then the question is today, what to do with life's burdens? And the answer is, take your burdens to the Lord and leave them there. And if you trust and never doubt, the Lord will surely bring you out. When upon life's billows you are tempted tossed, when you're discouraged thinking all is lost, count your many blessings, name them one by one, and it will surprise you what the Lord has done. And oftentimes, when we do not know what to do about life's burdens, some try drugs looking for relief. Others try to turn to drinking, and yet we know that these are not solutions. You see, alcohol and drugs only make us feel all right when we are all wrong. Because of burdens of life, many people have tried to commit suicide, trying to escape troubles and burdens of this life. Suicide is not the answer. It may get you some attention you need, but it's not the answer. If you succeed in taking your own life, then you lose anyway. And not only have you lost, but you have left a burden on those behind who really love you. And if you fail, you will discover that your burdens still remain. You need not feel alone. You need not ever think that you are the only one with burdens. Well, you see, burdens are common to all of us. I said burdens are common to all of us. We don't look like we've been through, but burdens are common to all of us. For we all have had our share of life's burden. We've all had our share of ups and downs, but we also had our share of life's good times. My friend Pastor Langford said that life is like a motor in your car. In order for your car to run right, the pistons inside the motor must always move up and down. If they stay up, you got a problem. If they stay down, you got a problem. And not only do you have a problem, but the car, that automobile, won't run and you won't go anywhere. You see, some days you're going to be up. Some days you're going to be down. And some days you're going to feel almost level to the ground. But I want to encourage you, just like the piston in the car, you got to keep on moving. You got to keep on trying, because you're going to make it if you don't give up. The Galatians writer said, be not weary in well doing. You're going to reap if you faint not. You got to hang in there. You can't throw in the towel. You can't quit. You got to keep coming and getting the word in you, and it'll help you to be strong. So that's the key. But in the midst of life's burdens, while you ponder this question of what to do, be reminded of what the songwriter has said. You can take your burdens to the Lord and leave them there. I think a lot of times we make the mistake, we take them and we drag them on back to the house. And then we wonder why ain't nothing happened, because ain't nothing happened because you took your burdens to the Lord, but you missed the point. You didn't leave them there. You took them back home. I have learned in life that the end of one thing is always the beginning of something else. The end of darkness is the beginning of light. The end of sorrow is the beginning of joy. The writer said, weeping may endure. I don't know how long it may stay. It may stay longer than that. It said, weeping may endure for a night. But it said, but joy, I don't know when your morning is, but joy will come in the morning. As always, remember that after every storm cloud, a little sun will shine. I'm glad that trouble don't last always. Though we would like to. I've learned that there's no way around life's burdens. We cannot avoid them. These burdens and troubles must be faced. But I'm glad to know today that Jesus is always standing by. I'm glad to know that he's a burden bearer. Somebody said he was a heavy load sharer. Somebody said he was a heart fixer and a and a mind regulator. So in our text today, we find that David is in the midst of life's trouble. We find him with what seems like the weight of the world is on his shoulder. And in the first part of Psalm, we hear him asking the Lord to give ear to his prayer. And not only that, but in verse 6, David could be heard, oh, that I had wings like a dove. I'll fly away and be at rest. We find David designed to get away from the troubles of his life. And I know a lot of us have the same desire that David had, a desire to get away from our troubles, a desire to take wings in the morning and fly away. But Lord, I get so tired and my soul need rest, and I need to find me a hiding place. Now David was suffering because of a rebellion brought on by his son Absalom. And we have learned that suffering is a very much part of living. If you don't have a few sick days, then you cannot appreciate the well days. Let me help. I say if you don't have a few sick days, you can't appreciate the well days. If there's never any rain in your life, then how would you appreciate the sunshine? David had ruled the kingdom well. And David had been a very successful king, but now in old age had caught up with him. His son, his sins, if you will, had found him out. And now he's facing trouble. Absalom had brought about a rebellion, trying to overthrow David's kingdom. David found himself in the midst of trouble. And this is the way he penned the 55th number Psalm. He was in the midst of trouble. He said, I got to get out and close. David said, cast thy burdens upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. Well, in other words, if I can just hold on a little while longer, if I can just keep the faith. One day, a story told the old lady got on a train and she was carrying a heavy load. And she had been carrying this heavy basket all day long. And she was sitting on the train with this heavy basket in her arms. And mile after mile, she sat there holding the heavy load. So the man sitting next to her said, old lady, why don't you just put that heavy load down? You don't have to hold it in your arms. Don't you know that this train is able to carry you as well as the heavy load? If you sit there, sit that load down, the train will carry it for you. This reminds me of that old song that said how we carry needless burdens. I heard it, they sung it this morning. They said, what a friend we have in Jesus. All our sins and griefs to bear. What a privilege it is to carry everything to God in prayer. But he kept on writing, oh, what peace we often forfeit. Oh, what needless pains we bear. All because we do not carry everything to God in prayer. Have you trials and temptations? If there's trouble anywhere, we should never be discouraged. Take it to the Lord in prayer. Jesus knows our every weakness. Take it to the Lord in prayer. What to do when life's Jesus said, come unto me all ye that labor and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and you shall find rest unto your souls. What to do with life's burdens? Take it to the Lord. Jesus took our sins and died on Calvary. But somebody said that ain't how the story ends. Right? Well, Sunday morning he got up with all power in his hands. So a lot of times you carry the heavy load when you ain't got to carry it. If you just leave it in God's hands, you got to put your children, you got to put your grandchildren, you got to put them in God's hand. There ain't no better hand. His hands are better than Allstate. His hands are better than State Farm. You need to learn how to put stuff in God's hand. But if you're going to put it in his hand, you got to leave it alone. If you put it in his hands, you can't toss all night, don't worry about it. You got to put it in his hand. And say he that watches something evil, he neither slumber nor he sleeps. So God don't be up in a house. So if you already gave him your problem, you ought to be able to rest well at night because you gave it to the Lord. Some fights, some battles are not yours. They belong to God. And God sitting back, I wish he put it in my hands. I wish he put it in my hands. I wish he put it in my hand. God can't do anything till you put it in his hand. You can talk about it, you can talk all around it, but until you give it to him. That's what I love, and you've heard me say that so many times before. That was the difference when the boy came with the 2 fish, and the other showed Jesus, he just looked at it. But what was the difference? Because when the boy came, he gave Jesus his lunch. Until you give it to him, you just say, well, Lord, I need some help. And the Lord said, yeah, that's fine. I'm glad you need some help. But until you give it to him, the Lord can't help you. Jesus was able to feed the multitudes because the boy gave him his lunch. And when he gave him his lunch, Jesus prayed, broke, blessed it. Then he fed 5,000, not counting women and children. And had 12 disciples. He had 12, they had lunch for them. He had 12 baskets left over after he fed anybody. I told you that Jesus is in the stretching business. He can take a little bit and make a whole lot out of it. You remember sitting around with grandmama, you were one of the 5 or 6 kids in how in the world, grandmama took whatever she had. She stretched it, some kind of way she stretched it. And everybody in the house got fed, everybody in the house was full. Because you learned how to stretch it. Grandmama knew something about the stretching business. God knows how to stretch stuff once you put it in his hand. And sometimes if you like me, if you look back on your life, you may wonder, as I do sometimes, how you got through a lot of things you got through. Baby, well, nobody but God. Nobody but God got you through that. And the reason God does it like that is so you can't give nobody else credit. You can't give nobody else props but him. Boy, I brought you through this storm. I got you through this mess. I did it. Not your mama, not your daddy, not your girlfriend. I got you through this. And a lot of times God gets us through it, and we don't even take the time to say, Lord, thank you. We walk away and say, Lord, I got it from here. Oh, while you was crying and whining on the floor, you needed the Lord's help. Now you up and you clean now. You tell me the Lord, oh, I got it from here. So God has a way of reminding you. What go around, he's going to come around. And you're going to need the Lord's help again. And and the thing I love so much about God is that when we mess up, ask God to forgive us. God does not remind us like folk do how we messed up. God don't throw up our past like folk do. Where you used to do this, where everybody used to, I told you, used to die and went to hell. You can't live off used to. Everybody is a used to. You think you always been, no, baby, you ain't always been holy. Well, how you know, Reverend? Because the Bible says all have sinned and come short of the living. And Isaiah said we were born in sin and shapen in iniquity. So you didn't come here holy. You may think you holy now, but you weren't born holy. When you were born, there's already a mark on every one of us. We were born in sin. So there was already a mark when we got here. So how you walk around, you so holy? And they talked about all this hypocrisy. Even in the church. Quit being so judgmental on folk. You ain't all that clean yourself. If God would come in and pull back the cover, there's some stuff in your life you don't want folk to see. There's some things you done did that everybody see how sanctimonious you are. Hallelujah. How you are when you come up in here. But God knows your heart. He know the real you. Now if you don't watch yourself, he can reveal the real you. Yeah, so you dress up, you smelling good, that's the shoes matching your hat, purse, that's awesome. But God knows the real you. So don't act like you all that and a bag of chips. We learn with God humility. If you want to go up, you got to go down. He that humbleth himself, the Bible says, shall be exalted. So and he that exalted himself shall be abased. I heard somebody say, well, Lord, if I'm too high, Lord, please bring me down. Well, baby, you ain't got to even worry about that. The Lord ain't going to let you get too high before he bring you down. And the thing I've learned about God, when God brings you down, you're going to know you've been brought down. Ain't nobody going to have to tell you. They can look, oh, you've been brought down. Because God will bring you down. Pride goes before destruction. So be careful how you carry yourself. But we need to understand and know that we can take our burdens to God, whatever it is, and we can leave it in his hands and trust God to work the situation out. Because there are some things you cannot work out on your own. There are some things you're going to need the Lord's help to do. And I've learned in a lot of situations where we mess up, we do it without God's help. Then we come back and ask God to help us. Now, if you had asked him in the first place, I remember the disciples, a man had a son that was messed up, delirious and sick, and he said, I brought him to your disciples. And I brought him to the church. Church ain't had no power. They couldn't do anything. They couldn't do nothing with it. So I don't know whether you can do anything or not, but if you can, help my son. I believe, he said, but help thou my unbelief. And Jesus healed the man, healed the boy. And privately the disciples said, Lord, why we couldn't get him? He said, this come by fasting and praying. And the other thing, you tried to do it without me. Anytime you attempt to do anything without Jesus, is subject to failure. And anytime you try to do something without inviting him in, he ain't coming in unless you invite him in. Is subject to failure. But a good thing about it, God can take you to the same place when you fail. And with his help, you succeed. You remember the disciples when we flew. They're tall all night fishing, cleaning their nets, wrapping it up for the day. And Jesus told them, he said, you caught? Said, no, we ain't caught nothing. No, we done called all night. Ain't caught nothing. And Jesus said, throw the net on the right side. Peter hesitated like, wait, we fishermen, we done told you, we done toiled all night. And we ain't caught nothing. But that key word, Peter said, nevertheless. At your word. There ought to be some nevertheless folk in here. Lord, I done tried and I done messed up. But nevertheless, at your word. And when he did what the Lord told him to do, at the same place that he had failed, when he let down the net, he had to get help to bring the catch in. All I'm saying, God can take you to the same place where you messed up. And God can make you succeed. It's a difference when you do it with him. Like I said yesterday, if you meet me and forget me, you lost nothing. But if you meet Jesus and you forget him, then you lost everything. And we see in the body of Christ folk are leaving here without Christ in their life. And if the Holy Spirit lay on your heart to call somebody, go visit them. Don't put it off. But please, don't put it off. I'm so glad I went by every time the Spirit told me to go by and check on Miss Williams, to go visit her just to see her. So if somebody in the Holy Spirit tell you to do something, I'm glad I run out there to see Sam Allen. Go check on folk. Pick up the phone call. If the Holy Spirit move on you, don't put it off. If they come on your mind, go check on them. Because, wish it woulda, shoulda, coulda, that'll be too late. Those to the church, because there might be somebody here that don't know Jesus and have hardened to sin. You ought to come now while the blood is still running warm in your veins. You ought to come now while you still have that